What is going on, everybody? Welcome to What's the 411 with your girl, Miss Ellie. What's going on? I just want to say thank you guys again. You guys are always showing up every single week. Even if you don't come through for the live at 8, you guys are there for the replay, and I totally appreciate you. So I am What's Up Girl? What's up all the way from London, UK? What's going on? What's up, everybody? I'm excited. I mean, we're getting into it. October is right around the corner. It is fourth quarter. We are at the end of the year. Pretty much we're wrapping it all up. We are getting it on and popping. So I am excited about it. I hope you guys are all excited. Of course, October and then November is right there. And November is just a fabulous month. You know what I mean? It is a fabulous month. And we have the summit coming back up in November. There's a lot of different things happening with the summit. This time they just keep, things keep metamorphosizing. So I'm excited about it. Of course, as time goes on, what all that good stuff is. So just look out for the information. But without further ado, what's going on, girl?
Hey Ellie,
How are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. It's Monday and we're here, right?
That's right. That's right. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yes, girl. I'm excited about our conversation. How was your weekend and stuff?
It was good. Good. I had the weekend off, so that made it even better. Right?
Right?
Can't
That's good.
complain.
That's good.
How was yours?
Wonderful. Girl, it was busy, but busy is good. So
Okay,
busy is good, it's all
that's
good.
good.
Just trying to get back into the swing of things, September is here, school just started back again,
hmm
that
hmm
organization of the week flow and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's good
yeah.
though. It's good.
I hear you. That's
Yep,
good.
yep.
So what's up
So
with
introduce
September?
yourself.
You said something about November. Is your birthday coming up in November?
My birthday is in November.
I knew
Yes.
it. I was like, the way she said that, it was like, yo, Ellie's birthday is coming up.
It's
Okay.
always a party. So, yes, November is my birthday, but we do have the summit coming up in November too. So,
Nice.
that is going to be
Very
something that
exciting.
I'm really working on something different to pop off for that month. So,
Nice.
hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see how everything goes. You know
You
what I
got it,
mean?
Ellie. You got it. You run it good. Yes.
Yes, yes, girl. Well, you got to introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
So I'm Natalie Walters, the founder of Reset with Nat. I am a life insurance agent who also operates as a financial planner and also a money mindset coach, right? So I'm a mother, I'm a family woman, not married, but at the same time, I got my family, understand? And at the same time, a believer in God. And then I'm very extroverted, very social, but at the same time, a little bit introverted as well. So I'm borderline. So a little bit about me professionally and then my personality and lifestyle.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Money mindset coach, what does that mean?
Well, when you get into the questions, I'll give you more of it. But what it really has, it has to do with getting the mind right about finances. Because honestly and truly, a lot of the times there's a lot of scarcity when it comes to financial planning, services, money in general. All we think we're supposed to do is work for it, spend it, and at the end of the day, there's no real understanding of how to value it. So, with that said, Money Mindset Coach is just to help people understand the value of money, get them to understand that it's okay to make mistakes and learn how to correct them, right? So,
That's important because I'm telling you, so many things that we've learned along the way, right? Like
mhm,
now we're
mhm,
like, geez, you know what I'm saying? We got to change that
right,
mindset. Mindset's
right,
everything.
right. Age, age,
Yes,
age will put some crisis on your priorities.
right? When it starts creeping up on you, you're like, wait a second, you know?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yep.
So what prompted you to like step out and do this whole financial thing?
Well, I had claimed bankruptcy when I was very young, and yeah, I was just living the fast life, and at the same time, when I thought or I tried to plan, it was just, I didn't stick with it. I wasn't consistent. It took a toll on me because honestly, when like, I don't know if you know, but when you have debt or you have financial issues, it should impact your well-being. You shouldn't be functioning thinking it's okay to live the way you're living. And for me, it took a toll on me. So I started to isolate myself. And then it became to the point where I was like, no, I had to make a change. So I left and I went to Edmonton. And when I went to Edmonton, I worked on personal development, my mindset, getting myself up and running, my work and everything else. And then when I came back to Toronto, I got a good job. But what had happened was the money was better. I was feeling confident, but I still didn't know what to do with my dollars. So I was talking to a coworker, and he's the one that introduced me to a life insurance agent. And once that gentleman sat down and had a conversation with me, to be honest, it just like, it opened up my mindset. Because as a parent now, I'm like, it's like, what are your goals? Parenting, planning for after, and just in case, and it was just like, okay, you know what? Honestly and truly, these are things I never thought about. And when I did start to sit and process, I had a different outlook on my finances. So I've always been in the social services sector and working in the school board, working with the city. I kind of know what the importance of kind of finding solutions to problems, right? And I like helping people. So once I was able to understand what I was going through and then start to acknowledge and work through it, I found that it would be important to help other people. Not only that, the guy saw something about me that said, hey, I'd love to have you work with me. I'd like to have you join my team. And when he said that to me, I was like, and I'm a person, I don't mind trying things. You know what I mean? I don't mind trying things. So that's how I ended up moving forward and getting into the industry. But I was like, I'm not going to be speaking too much on this thing because I have my own finances to work on. So I got involved in the industry before even being fully debt free, but I was learning and applying. And that's how I ended up here.
That's fabulous. I mean, because as just as you were saying, I too myself have had my financial struggles. When you're young, you just think money grows on trees, like, and you'll make it back, whatever. You live in check to check, and it's just not the way. You know what I mean? So it's important to get that, down packed, to get it organized.
Yeah.
So yourself for that one, and then stepping out and then wanting to help people, that's even more.
Well, you know what? The thing is, I was like, how can I make this even more like, I know that when you put things out there, it's what comes back to you. What you put out, you know what you're going to get. So I was like, not only that, it's going to hold me accountable. So that's why when I just started a podcast of my journey, my debt repayment journey. And that's where it all just kind of snowballed from there,
Okay. Yeah, I see you with these videos. You're always putting out some videos with content. You have everybody just busting a laugh. Where do you get that's all from your blog, from your podcast?
No, well, the videos are just you know what? I love to laugh. Like honestly and truly, I love a good laugh and I like to joke, and I wanted to find a way to bring light to a conversation that is so guarded and so awkward for some. Who, you know what, you can sit amongst four people that are all in debt, and one person can say, I have debt, and then the rest of them three will sit down quietly like they don't have it. You know what I mean? The thing is, people don't want to talk about it. So I figured for me to make the conversation, or for them to even pay attention, I might as well make a joke off of it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, have my lessons in there, so at least they catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The conversation around your finances is a sensitive conversation. You know what I mean? Because you feel bad sometimes when you're like, my finances are not in order. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good feeling, right? So yeah, but it's a fact that we need to get ourselves in order, and so it's important to be able to laugh, make those mistakes, but learn from them at the same time. So
of course. Yeah.
What's up? I see Nikki in the chat here. What's going on, Nikki? She's saying thanks, Nat, for sharing.
Oh, no problem. I'll tell. You know, I'll tell.
So when is like the first time you realized that you really had a big passion for helping people because you're a money mindset coach, you're a life insurance agent, you're out here, you're making these videos, the podcast, like when is the first time you really realized like this is for me?
That's a good one, Ellie. You didn't tell me about that question. Okay, you know what? When did it really hit me? I
Yeah.
think it was when I started to understand like my credit better and I started to see my numbers get good. You know, when I saw my credit boost, hey, watch. Credit up, debt down. Woo!
Okay,
So I
okay.
made the shirt and I was like, I was recording a podcast and I was like, you know what? Let me measure what's going on here. And then when I started to get the hang of it, and I started to have the conversations on the phone with the debt collectors, and I was like not screaming with them or hanging on and hanging up or ignoring my phone calls. You know, my money was moving different. I was feeling good. So then I was like, you know what? Honestly and truly, this just feels right. For all the things that I've ever done in career wise, I've done hair and I love hair. I work with kids. I love children. You know what I mean? I problem solve with people in the city. I don't mind that. But at the end of the day, I see this encompasses everything because the reason why I had left the school was because I saw so many things with children in their, like if they would come to school, some don't have food, they don't have this, all sorts of crisis, right? They don't have anyone standing up for themselves. And I was a teacher's assistant and I was like, I'm too limited here. You know what I mean? I'm limited in my role. And the thing is, I got to find out what's happening behind the scenes. It's not here. It's what's happening behind the scenes. And a lot of the times, finances,
Yeah,
you know, when you're not able to supply the needs for the family and money runs it, you know,
yeah,
there's a very big chance that your child is going to go out there and be reacting or showing what is happening within the home without even knowing that they're showing what's happening in the home.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
So I was like,
Definitely.
you know what? This just makes sense. I think this is exactly where I need to be because if I can help the family, the heads of the family, then it will just lighten up the load, you know, throughout. And at least that's my contribution to society whilst
Yeah,
helping my own, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's important because it always starts at the head. Once the head it gets better, then everything else can work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about finances. Like, what are some of the key things that we have to remember when we're dealing with our finances?
Okay. So, you know, you want to have a solid financial compass, right? Outlook. When we look at finances, most of the times we're just looking at the space that we're in. I'm this age and this is what I need. But really and truly, we're supposed to be looking at finances from the short to long term because we are getting older. Like we were saying a little while ago, you know, you don't realize that you're spending, and really and truly time's going. And then by the time you turn around, it's crisis. So I remember my grandfather used to always say to me, save a little, save a little, save a little. The man was talking about an emergency fund, right?
Right. Yeah.
But at that time, I was younger, so he wasn't telling me about life insurance, right? So what I've learned and what I understand as value is you must have protection first. You want to make sure you have life insurance coverage. One, to protect your family in the case of an untimely event, you're injured and you are unable to work, or you have a critical illness and you survive and you need to take care of medical costs and everything else.
Mhm.
Secondly, you want to make sure that you have your own coverage, not from your employer, because when you leave your job or you get fired, that doesn't go with you, and usually it's not enough coverage. Secondly, you want to have that emergency fund, like I was saying, actually manage your debt. Manage your debt. Can't have all this credit, can't have all these credit cards, and you know what? You're not paying attention to the interest rates, you're just spending, you're buying, because guess what? That skirt that you bought for $10.99 today, right? You're paying an interest rate on it if you continue to look at every skirt that's $10.99 and you blow up the card and now your card is so full and you can't pay it back. And guess what? 5 years later, that skirt that you bought for $10.99 is actually $20 still on that card, and you can't fit the skirt. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, we got to think different, right? So there's that. And then the emergency fund, you should have 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund. And I mean, these things are just little strategies that we have to put into place. It doesn't mean that it has to be done all at one time. Take time. Right. Take time and learn to build. And then investing, because inflation is there. Like, do you remember when Carnation milk, I always hold on to Carnation milk, eh? Because I remember when that thing, you said, huh? How much did you say?
99 cents.
99.57. Do you remember? I remember being in elementary school, and it was in the store for 57 cents. How much is that stuff now?
Yeah, $2.99 almost.
Okay. If you want the good brand, right? So you see what happens. That's why we got to make sure that we also invest to make sure that our money that we have is able to stay up with the cost of living, because obviously our employers aren't doing that. Right? Yeah. The cost of living, the rise, like that's just not, it's not good. That's why, to me, it's nice to work for yourself, so that way you can maximize your earning potential. But if you do have an employer, it is important that we learn to pay ourselves first, which is allowing you to then use that money to invest or save for an emergency. And then at the same time, you have the other areas that you're going to cover: your protection, your emergency fund. You're going to keep your debts low. You're going to keep everything nice and good, solid, right? Yeah. But the thing is, sometimes people don't know how to do all of these things. So what I would suggest is, if you don't, you're unsure, you have a financial planner advisor in your circle, ask questions, meet the person, have a consultation. If you have a family or member or a friend that's doing well, speak to them. Ask them questions. If they're not willing to share, I'm sorry, that's not nice. You should all be sharing, even if they can give you a referral. You know, you don't have to ask them about their numbers, but if you say, can I have a referral? But at the same time, I'm here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Reach out. There's a lot of people online sharing information that are out there. You don't have to listen to one. You can listen to many, get an understanding, then reach out. But do not wait too long. I did it. I am judging, but I'm saying that's just one thing to avoid.
Yeah, and then so let's say we're, out here, we've got credit issues, we've ran up our credit cards. Where do we start? How do we start to get this solid foundation? You know what I mean? Where do we begin? Of course, we have to call you.
You got to reset. You got to reset. Like, honestly, this is, when I came up with the whole reset with Nat, it was, after I started to go through my process, I just started thinking, reset, okay. And then I had to break down, what did I do? How did I do it? Well, I had to refocus. As much as someone had given me information, he told me, these are the things that you need to have. Why are you not there? What do you need? Yada, yada, yada. It started to make me think. And the more I started to think is the more I started to refocus. I started to research. It was the onset of the pandemic made it even better. So I got a book by a Canadian author, and I said, okay, I'm going to read this thing. I read the book, and it had a portion of the book that talked about the money mindset. So refocus. Make sure your mind's right. Are you prepared to go through this? And if you are prepared to go through it, who is it going to impact? Because when you're ready to pay off your debt and move with your money different, there are going to be some people that may not necessarily feel the same way as you. And if you're in the home, you got to make them understand, no, this is serious to me, and I'm going to be taking a break off of doing certain things. Right. So I'm not going to be paying certain things. Can you help me? Right. They'll want to help you, right? If it's your friends, you may have to say to them, look, this summer, it's not happening. I'm not taking the trip. I'm not doing certain things. You know what? Even if you have to break a habit. I used to like to drink. I wasn't alcoholics. Not saying it's like that. But at the same time, I love a good drink. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you calculate certain things for you to prioritize others, you got to make your moves. You got to move things out of your way. Eating out. Yeah. I had to refocus on what I was doing. Then I had to become educated. So I told you about the book that I bought. And once I started to read the mindset part, then it went into the different layers of credits in Canada? What are the numbers? Where are we supposed to be? You understand? If you want a mortgage, how much credit do you need? But also, it's not just about the credit number, it's about the full report. What does your report have to look like? Right? And then also, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do a little plug right now, because honestly and truly, if you are thinking about credit and what to do with it, then you can actually DM me, because we have a book. It's called How to Boost Your Credit Fast. Now, a mortgage agent and an investor, Shireen and Josh, they put this manual together for Canadians to understand how to maximize their credit potential in Canada, right? So it's an education.
So where do we
Strategize.
get that?
So
Where do we get
DM
the
me.
download?
Well, there.
Okay.
You know what? Josh and Shireen, if you're here, you guys can put your handles in the chat box, or you guys can just reach out to me, and then I'll get you linked up with a copy.
What's up, Josh? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. So they're there, and it's a very nice tool to have, right? At the end of the day, I even tell people, share it with your nieces, your nephews. If they're not even handling credit yet, get them to have the information handy. Read it out sometimes, Education, strategize, get a plan going. We always talk about writing things down, right? Why do we write things down? Well, for me, at my age, memory is not the same. 1, 2, it only holds you accountable when you have it written down. You look at this paper, and you're gonna feel guilty if you're not doing what you said what you wrote you were gonna do. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing when you write it down. It's another move, And then also it helps you to follow the path. Make sure you're able to measure how things are going, right? And then if you have to re-strategize, you're able to do that. Execution. When's the start date? How long are you giving yourself to get whatever it is done? I'll be honest and say that when I planned my debt repayment journey, I had planned for a certain time. The pandemic hit, my hours at work dropped. How did I feel? It's all on the podcast. I was like, oh my gosh, guys, it's But then I had to remember, look, it's a pandemic. At least I still have my job. I'm able to pay my rent. So what I got to do is kind of manipulate what I was doing. I had to go back to my strategy. Stretch out my plan, right? Yeah. So strategize, and then in that process, you're going to transform. Different things about you will transform. Your mindset about money starts to transform. Your conversations start to transform. It just is, you start to feel better. Like, even for me, I lost my luster. I said that, but then I gained it back. That's why when you see me on social media and a lot of people were like, oh, you have so much energy. I always had that, but I just went into a cocoon. I went into myself, and I was just like sad. And I don't like to say depression, but that's nearly what it was. But until I literally made the change, I started to feel so good. And I was like, I could tell people things, whether or not I was at that level. I'm not a senior person in this industry. But I was growing. My personal growth was starting to show. I felt it. I'm experiencing. So I felt good, right? And it's a never-ending journey, because every single layer of whatever you have to go through with your financial journey, there's still more growth to go through, right? Yeah. So I'm debt-free. So what happens now, Natalie? You got to work on other things. That means I got to continue learning and being able to put my resources, which is my dollars, into that area.
Right. Mm-hmm. Step by step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's important. It's good to break it down, because somebody's out there that's like, yo, I'm ready to start, but I just don't know where. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So
sometimes we put a little too much pressure on ourselves,
For sure.
Yeah, we do.
That too. Yeah, that too. There's a lot of pressure out there. I mean, social media, you've got your family, your friends, other people that have the image of having it all put together. Sometimes we judge and think that that person has it all together. Meanwhile, they're struggling with their finances or whatever too, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm sorry, I gotta let my hair down. I pinned this thing up and I was like, I'm doing myself a headache, boy.
Let it out. How long have you had your dreads? How long?
It's 5 years now.
Oh, 5 years. Okay. Yeah. It's long though.
Yeah, they should be longer. I beat them up so with bleach.
It's all good. They look good. They're
Thank
nice. They
you.
look nice.
Thank you.
Um, yes, girl. So where's my next question here? Consumerism.
Hmm.
What is consumerism? And then what are your thoughts around consumerism?
Hmm. Oh boy. Consumerism is that 1099 skirt. Okay? It's that habit of needing to purchase things.
Yeah.
And it's the marketing, yes. It's
Yeah.
also, I mean, it depends on you, your culture, your people, but I know that us, Black people, people of color, we're fancy. We like
Yeah.
things. You understand? We like
Style.
to look good, like to smell good. We like the house to look good. Everything's got to be good. But sometimes it's good to the point where, you know what, you're only digging yourself in a hole. And the thing is, if you just learn to sit back a little bit and say, I know I saw that skirt. But at the same time, why am I buying it just because it's 10.99? I'm not going anywhere in it.
Yeah.
Let me leave that skirt alone because I'm just trying to purchase something without a purpose. It's not an asset, it's a liability, right? We have to change our mindsets on what it is that we're purchasing and what value it's putting into us. Now, not to say you're not supposed to have, and I don't know why I say 10.99 because 10.99 would still make a person feel like it's okay. No, 10.99 is still a problem because how many 10.99s will you purchase? Sometimes a person will be like, you know what? And it ends up being $100. Look at the dollar store. And
Yeah,
it's
I know.
$100 you don't have. So the thing is, consumerism is purchasing things without a purpose, letting marketing get to you, feeling that you have to wear certain name brands and things that have nothing to do with your wage.
Right.
Live within your means, find different ways to wear things. You know what I mean? Be creative. We're creative people. And then when you get there, budget it in. Budget, some of the niceness in. But don't just buy to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's important because that too can become it's almost like a habit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like a habit,
Stop
right?
going to the mall. You know what? Even, you know what I said to stop doing? Walking up in the mall. Sometimes you see, look, when you go to the mall, how many people are really walking around the mall with a bag? Some people go to the mall just as like it's something to do on the weekend, right? But the thing is, that's what gets your eyes
Yep.
and your wallet twitching,
Yep. Yep.
you know? And then it's like you're purchasing things and you're coming out of there without a real reason for having it, right? Some people are able to control it and many others are not. So,
It's very true.
hmm
Yep, Miss Main is in the chat too. What's up, Miss Main? And
Hey,
she's
what's
saying
up,
delete
girl?
that Uber Eats app, guys. We got to delete the apps.
Oh,
So,
see, hold on. See, you see, I don't have Uber Eats. I'm not an Uber person. I don't have nothing to do with the Ubers. But what I used to have a problem with was like the drive-through.
mm,
Like I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. Burger King used to catch me often, and I know it's not an expensive meal, but at the same time, it's expensive now. You ever been to? Listen, my son tells me all the time. Noel's like, Mom, leave them alone. I'm like, do you know how much money? Listen, don't play with me and my food, eh? I want a napkin. I want my straw handed to me properly. I want the fries to be warm. Do not play with my money. You
right? I
understand? I can
know.
tell him. Because at the
Yep.
end of the day, Ellie, what happens is we can cook. We
Yep.
can take the time to cook and be creative and make these meals. But we're handing over our money to these people. And by the time the food comes, it don't taste right.
Yeah.
You understand? And at the same time, even now with COVID, how hygienic is it? Come off of them apps. Save it for once in a while. I'm sorry.
It's true though. It's true. But I think you know what? Since COVID, a lot of people have started cooking more. I
I
feel
hope
like
so.
everybody, right?
Maybe I have to do a cooking day with Nat.
Like, come on, teach us how to. Yeah, and that's the next thing too. You know what? Going in the grocery store and wasting your money in the grocery store. Come on now. I even had to, somebody told me just shop. Don't go through the
Outside.
aisles. Just shop on the outside. And I
Outside.
started trying it, and yo, you can save a lot of money because you're just going through the aisles looking at, okay, do I need these cookies? No, I don't really need them, but just throw them in here. Extra cereal, all sorts of nonsense that you really don't need. But I'm telling you, the grocery store can get you too.
Do you take your kids to the grocery store with you?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, so do
Yeah.
they want to add stuff to the cart?
They do,
Okay.
but I'm a pretty frugal person. So I'll be in
Okay.
the store like, you're not getting it. No, I don't care.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Good.
maybe
Yeah.
next week
Okay.
or
Okay.
one thing, especially in the summer because there's no school, these
Mhm.
guys will want everything in the
Yeah.
grocery store. You know what I mean? They just eat down the place. But now
Mhm.
that school is there, I'll let them have a little bit, organized snacks, a lot more fruits and
Mhm.
vegetables.
Okay.
But it can get crazy in the grocery store though. It can
Yeah.
get crazy.
Yeah. I don't take Noel. He doesn't come with me. No.
They want everything though. They
Yeah.
want everything, you
Grocery
know?
store is ridiculous. Mhm.
It gets crazy. It can get
I
crazy.
hope you guys are like, even if you have a garden, if you have a backyard
Yeah,
and you have a garden in the summertime, maximize that. You see how much it is for pepper in the store?
I know. I know. Just one.
Man. Hmm?
Just even
Yeah.
one pepper. One, it's enough. I know.
We have
Yep,
to use our natural resources to help us cut some of these bills, when we
definitely.
can, because how many months of winter do we have?
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's mostly
Hmm.
winter. So it's a
Yeah.
lot. But you offer so many different services, Nat. You're out here, you're doing it all. So tell us about, like, break down all of the different services that you have, and then, of course, where we fit in, how we can get in touch with you, and all that good stuff.
Okay. So life insurance is number one because I started off as a life insurance agent, and fortunately, I am able to work with a company that allows me to also have additional services that we offer. So I'm going to go from extreme to what? Okay, so there's life insurance. We deal with different investments, and depending on the type of investor you are, there are different services. In a tax-free savings account, we can help you with investing from a low portfolio to an aggressive portfolio, right? We do have life insurance where there's permanent and term insurance. So with the permanent insurance, which is universal life, you are also able to invest through that. Um, I also deal with car insurance. We deal with, oh boy, RIFs, liras. So if you're an older person and you're retiring and you need to know what to do with your pension money and you need to transfer that money, there are different types of investments that we can help you transfer your funds into. Um, you know what? RRSPs, if you have a mortgage and you need mortgage protection, not mortgage protection, if you need liability insurance for your home, we are able to help you have your assets, your furniture, and all of those things covered, making sure that if there's any flooding in your home, you have protection against that. If you're a landlord and you are a property owner and you just need liability insurance for the surrounding of your property, you want to make sure the property is safe. We have that as well. Um, Debt management. So there is consolidation loans that we also speak to. Now, the thing is, it's not the first thing that we would speak to you about because we would do a financial needs analysis to determine, hey, is there money that you have left over that you can use to actually help you pay off your debts? And then, or is there a need for you to actually go into a program to help you pay off your debts over a short period of time? Short to long period of time. It's up to 3 or 4 years, right? Depending on what your income is and what the amount of debt you have is. But really and truly, for me, I really believe it's important that you look at what you have and see if you can do it on your own. Because I claim bankruptcy, as I had mentioned, and it sticks to your profile for a numerous amount of years. The time it takes to pay it off and then the time it takes thereafter, right, for them to clear it off of your credit bureau. and it impacts your score, right? I know with the consolidation, they say it is a lot easier for you to raise your score, but at the end of the day, you know, sometimes that hard work and the dedication that you put into yourself, it only helps you to learn so you won't go back, and then also feel the rewards, you know what I mean? And you can also share with people a lot more. Um, yeah, so loans, investments, mortgages. There are times where if you need a mortgage, you know, we have the Bank of Montreal. They have good interest rates that we are able to work with. And that's really and truly, that's about all I can say right now. The money mindset coaching is what I do, and that's a one-on-one activity that I could work with you. I also do group coaching that will be coming back up once again. I did my first round. It was really, really well attended by the guests. They attended every session and we worked through it, and I learned through working with them in a group setting. But yeah, just a few different things. And if you need to reach out, I mean, my name is Natalie Walters. I'm here on Instagram. Feel free to ask me any question that you want in my DM, but then at the end of the day, you have the opportunity to book a one-on-one appointment just to sit down and go over what it is that you're going through and what are the changes that you want to make to your life, right? We work with you and then at the same time give you the best advice so that way you will be able to meet your targets in a timely fashion, right? A lot of the time, sometimes people will need a little bit more income. There are income opportunities through our company because they are always recruiting. We need more people in the financial sector, right? But at the same time, a lot of people are already scared about finances in itself. So when you tell them that, it's like, what? But at the end of the day, the way I saw it was, I wasn't scared because I thought about it. I can gain an income, work and learn, share. This is just and maximum, like I'm not limited to the earning potential. Why not? You know what I mean? All I gotta do is read, study, and apply. Right?
Win-win.
Yeah. So those are the things that I am able to do. And anything more, you know, DM me. I'll tell you more. Ask me.
Well, we have a question in the chat from Yumalish Treats. Did you say term life insurance is the one that has an investment option?
No, not the term. That's the universal life and permanent insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Term is just for the term that you have it. 10, 20, 30 year. There's 100 years. But no, there's no investment in that.
Okay. And then, so what are some of the common misconceptions around finances in our community, especially in the Black community, because, you know, we're Black?
The first misconception is around life insurance, right? A lot of the time people believe it's like you're putting a curse on yourself if you talk about getting life insurance. I remember that when my son was young and my dad had mentioned it to me, and then I was talking to a friend. The thing is, when my dad told me, he didn't explain to me properly. And I was just like, okay, you know, okay. And I had mentioned something to a friend of mine, and she's like, why are you talking about that? You don't want to do that. You don't need that. You're good. You're Canadian. And I'm like, okay. So I just left it. I didn't bother. And thank God nothing happened, right? But then years later, many years later, thank God everything was okay. And the gentleman came and had this conversation with me. I was like, oh shucks. You mean if I don't pay off my debt, that gets transferred? Okay, I don't like that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like that. So I wanted to make sure. And then, oh yes, if I don't have anything, then I don't have any money for someone to help take care of my child. So he now becomes a burden on somebody else who's already struggling. I don't want that. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, if I have it, it's a way to start a legacy. Oh, shucks, let me add it to my portfolio. For how much? How much does it cost? A lot of the times people get it through their work. They don't even understand what in the world they're signing. And they think that's okay. You know what I mean? But at the end of it all, honestly and truly, life insurance is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that's out there. And this month being Life Insurance Awareness Month, there was a lot of information being shared throughout social media, especially within my group, you know, with the people that I work with. We were putting it out there, you know what I mean? And making sure that the education was being put out there for people to know. Don't run from it, run to it,
Right.
right? You don't want to burden your family. So be
It's
responsible.
definitely something to think about because that's a huge, a huge talk in our community around life insurance, right?
But I think a lot of people are coming around because I mean,
Oh
nowadays
yeah,
I'm hearing, oh, I have it. Whether or not they have the best, they got
right.
something. I think
Yeah,
that's good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So even if you have something and you're unsure, pull out those papers and start to review it. Meet once again and start asking questions, right? To see if you have enough, because as you get older, your needs change. As your responsibilities grow, your needs change. So,
right.
mhm,
Yeah, definitely. A lot of financial, even financial literacy, which is
mhm.
something that I'm going to ask you, what your definition of it is, but that's something that our whole understanding has started to, like, change as time goes on. But what do you think of the definition? Like, what does financial literacy mean to you?
Understanding, your understanding about money, right?
Right,
It's you being not just, okay, money is this. What are the different areas of finances that impacts our lives, right? And for you to be financially literate, you should understand the things that apply to your current circumstances and also where you need to grow to, right? So when it comes to, like I was saying, at the end of it all, life insurance, understand the basics at least of what life insurance is and how it can help you, debt management and how to reduce it, your credit, how to acquire it, how to maintain it, how to transfer credit, because you know you can share credit, right, with your family and whatnot if it's done right. Um, Also, your emergency funds, why is it important? How much do you need? You know, paying yourself first, why is that important? How to be consistent with that. These are different things that we got to understand why we have to do it. Because at the end of the day, who wants to depend on CPP and OAS? You know how much money that is?
not enough.
Oh my gosh. I hear people calling me about those things and they're like, oh, I only have so much, my landlord's doing this and blah, blah, blah. I feel sorry for that. I'm just like, oh Lord, if I could take you, I would. If I could bring you food, I would. You understand? It's not nice. They're
Not nice.
struggling on these things. So this is why we have to understand these layers so that way we can prepare ourselves for it. And then we don't become a burden for our children when they're going through their young adult ages, right? So it's just financial literacy is understanding the stage that you're in, but also don't wait until you're ready to get to that next stage before you need to understand the next stage. Prepare,
Right,
keep learning.
right, right. And then you mentioned, children, talking to our children about financial literacy and teaching them as we learn too is
Hmm.
huge,
Yes, it
right?
is. It is. Yeah, my son just now he's like, "Oh, good shirt, mom. That's a good shirt to wear." You know, the credit up, debt down. Yeah, it's like yeah. And then sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, you know, well, we're not gonna get some." Hear him. He's telling me we don't need to get some pizza this week because you know we're on a budget. And when he's ready, he'll forget all about the budget because he's ready to play a game and he needs a new game. That's an asset for him.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
But at the same time, it's a conversation. Get some
yeah,
thinking, right?
yeah. That's important for sure. Yeah. But your motto, I love your motto to get rich in mind, wallet, and spirit.
Yes.
Just talk to us about what that means.
Well, it's because like I said, when you lose, first of all, God is good, right? All the time. I grew up in a Christian household, so my faith is strong. I I just believe it's important to, one, be spiritually inclined. However you choose to do it, yoga or whatever, I think we just need to center ourselves. Mental health is very important because if you are a person who takes on every and anything, then you are easy to crack. And times like now are the most pressure. You're very hard to handle for yourself, much less somebody else that may have to deal with you. So the thing is, I think it's important that we just keep making sure that we're paying attention to balancing our mental health, our spiritual health, and then also our financial health. It's holistic, right? Because I could have money, and at the end of the day, my mind is lost. You know, I'm not on the right frame of mind. I don't have the right people around me. So therefore, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I'm unhappy, but I got money. I look good when I go outside, right? And what does that lead to? Sickness. All of this leads to sickness if you're not careful. So if we can have balance, I think it's just a holistic approach to who I am and what I strive for. And what I think more people should think of is just not just one, look at everything.
Yeah, yeah, complete
Yeah,
package. Yeah.
yeah, package.
And so, what keeps you motivated?
You know, I love a little challenge. I like a little challenge, you know. And then plus I'm older now. So this is the last lap. I told my best friend, I said to her last year, I was like, yo, we're on our
No,
last
it's
lap,
not
eh?
your last lap, girl.
No,
You're
no,
not
no,
your
no,
last
I
lap.
am no young girl. I am not no young girl when it comes to
I'm pretty
employment.
sure we're almost probably the same age.
No, but the thing is, I'm not saying I'm gonna kick the bucket. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
it's my last lap. I'm not doing another career. Like
Oh,
this
I
is my
see.
last go around, and wherever I start, it's my last lap on this type of journey for
Yeah,
entrepreneurship, for personal development. I'm just gonna go with this, stick it out. I feel fulfilled, so at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it my all. You know, and there are times where I take a break because I have to.
of course.
You know, I have to. Sometimes they'll say to me in my DMs, and I think it's really nice, and I appreciate it. You know, oh, you got so much energy. I'm like, little do they know, I could be a little monster too. But at the end of the day, I mean, really and truly, it's that balance, that mind, wallet, and spirit. And at the end of the day, I know that I have one go round in this career. This is it. And I'm going all the way to make sure that I share all of the information that I needed when I was younger. I don't want people to go through it if they don't have to.
100%. Yeah,
Hmm.
I hear you on that. And then, so talk to us about the different things you have going on right now with Reset with Nat and how we can get on board.
Well, right now, I just, you know what, reach out to me. Let's book a financial needs analysis. Let me educate you more. Let me see how I can help you. It doesn't mean you have to purchase something right away. It doesn't mean you have to prepare to do something with me. It's just about me sharing education, right? I want to make sure that I'm able to, one, understand what the needs of the people are, so I'm able to continue sharing, because sometimes some people may not be brave enough to reach out. But whoever does, I use that as content to keep feeding the community, right? And at the same time, you know, the Reset program, I'm going to be doing another go around with a webinar in November. So look out for that information. If you stick around on the Instagram page, you'll always stay up to date with whatever I post. And then I have a newsletter. It's an audio newsletter which comes out every Wednesday at 10 minutes. And I give a message that keeps you rich in mind. So there's always something for mental health awareness, wallet, a little financial tip, and then spirit. I do my daily devotion, so whatever my daily devotion is, I share that with you, right? And that's a 10-minute newsletter that I send out every Wednesday. So if you're interested, you can click the link in my bio and just register for that. And just look out for whatever else is coming around, because, you know, like I said, it's my last lap.
All right, all right. So do you have anybody you want to send a big shout out to?
You know what? I honestly, I can't just give one. If anything, if anybody's gonna get it, it's gonna be God. Because honestly and truly, I am so thankful that when I said, "Lord, help me to do this," He just kept bringing the right people my way. I've really built a very good network of people, and then also I was also to see able to see the beauty of support from friends and family. You know what I mean? That keep encouraging me. See, the energy is reciprocated. Some people I know personally, and others I am learning and growing to know. So I'm just thankful for all of the support, and I thank God for the opportunity to live, and my family here who always understands that when I'm in my computer or doing all of this stuff, they know that Natalie's on her personal development journey and she's helping the people.
That's good. That's blessed. That's nice.
Hmm.
All right. And of course, I always like to ask if you have like a motivational quote or anything that you want to share, something that you kind of resonate with that you go by.
So there's this quote, and I'll never forget it because it sent me to Edmonton, and that was the onset of my personal development journey, and it was from Denzel Washington. And he says, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And that quote is like my reset quote because every time I try something new, I remember it, right? So
Yeah.
I'd like to share that one with you all.
Wow. That's a powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a powerful one, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a
Mm-hmm.
powerful story. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love
Thank you,
it.
Ellie.
I also want to thank you for, coming on here on the show, by showing me support and coming on and supporting, for the summit as well and the marketplace. And, you're the one that hooked me up with Josh too. Josh hooked up the marketplace.
The
You
Lord
see how
sent Josh to me. The Lord sent Josh, so I had to share you. This is the thing, man. The Lord sends you share good people. But thank you, Ellie. You know what? I'm also very supportive of I'm very supportive of what you do. I'm thankful that my friend referred me to you. You see how it goes?
yeah.
You make a move and your friends and your family and people that you know will do things. They will help you. You know what I mean? So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on whatever platform you have. I'll always be there if you let me. Definitely
All
supporting
right.
you as well.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
yes, you gotta pick up Two Yachty's clothing, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's right.
Yes, girl.
It.
Well, thank you again. I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
viewers.
And we definitely will stay connected. And I'll let you guys know what's going on for the next summit too. But yes, you guys have to make sure that you hook up with Nat to hit that reset button.
All
Right? To
right.
get
Credit
that.
up, get down.
Yes,
All right.
girl.
You
That's
guys have a
right.
great night.
Okay, you
Thanks a
too.
lot. Take care.
All
Bye.
right, you too. Bye. Yes, guys, that was phenomenal. Always a good chat with Nat. Okay, she always has a lot of great information. So if you guys didn't see the summit, you want to definitely make sure that you're checking it out because she was one of our expert panelists, and she just, she has the information that you guys need. So you definitely want to check her out if you're looking to become accountable for what's going on in your wallet, in your mind, and in your spirit. You definitely want to reach out to Nat. Just send her a DM. She'll get back to you. Click that reset button and get your life in order. Okay, you got to get your life in order, and you won't regret it. You know what I mean? You won't regret it. Take those steps, baby steps, do your thing, and you should be good to go. All right. There's nothing that Nat cannot help you with or direct you in how to get, the ball rolling in whatever financial avenue you need to make sure that you get it done. So, guys, you want to make sure that you do it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget, I love that quote. Denzel Washington is super powerful. I love his quotes, but this one was really like, okay. If you want to do something you've never done, or sorry, if you want something you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done. Very, 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 very important to always remember. Step outside of your comfort zone. Just do the damn thing. You know, just go. Just go with it. You got that butterfly in your stomach. That means that, you're doing something good. Just set those goals, continue to reach higher, 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 and just keep going, keep growing. Always, as Nat said, just educate yourself. You always have to refocus, research, read, educate yourself, and then surround yourself with phenomenal people who are doing the same thing, that are moving in the same direction as you, right? So a lot of super powerful things. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to go back and rewatch the replay, because there's always so many things that you're listening, but it's always good to take them extra notes. Take down the notes, make your goals, and set the bar higher. All right, guys. So another great conversation right here on What's the 411 with yours truly, Miss Ellie. Thank you guys for joining me. This is all about different individuals who are doing different things, and where everybody's story matters. All right, guys. So you have yourselves a great week, and I will see you on Monday with another phenomenal guest with another phenomenal story. All right. Take care. Bye.